our balance sheet, right, the majority of the money that we spend in people, not IT capex. The reason IT capex is related predominantly to the soft laptops that we have. We are a predominantly Mac heavy company, right? So we generally give the best possible. Again, my philosophy is that give the best raw material so you get the right systems, right? So in our case, the raw material is servers and the laptops, which is very insignificant in terms of nature of the business that we do. The laptops, again, the second part is the expert that we have is security products, right? So we have picked out the best class of the security product to protect ourselves also. That's where the money goes in. The IT capex is not high. That's all I can say.
Can you give some estimate, because they deal with the money directly?
Yes.
You may have some other clientele as well in other sectors.
Yeah.
And can you give some rough estimate as to what is the exposure that you have saved for your clients? Amount that would have been otherwise defrauded?
So I can talk about a case study, right? I don't want to quote the numbers and I don't have the numbers with me. But let's say we simulated the same thing that we do in TSET, right? Which is drill. We simulated an attack on 18,000 plus employees, right? Out of them, it was like way back time. Out of which 3,000 people actually submitted their ID password in the same kind of attack that I had, right? So it was a Microsoft reset password, so they put it up. Over the period of time, we reduced that data submission rate to roughly around 7% only, right? So starting from 25% to 7% is something that we kind of able to get the efficacy. And whenever we renew a customer, we go with a PPT, right? And obviously I cannot disclose those details, but we go with a PPT that okay, this is what when you procure my product. So if you look at the video, then you will find out the comparison. The first time that you simulated, what was your risk score? The last time that you simulated, what was the score? And what is your industry peers risk score? So you can see that in real time and you can compare them where you stand and the kind of product value that is trying. So it's already there, the product itself. And fully transparent way, right? Anyone can compare it. This
R.N. Gupta from Money Time, you raised about your usage, per customer, per computer.
Yeah.
This is exactly how Microsoft began.
Yes.
And you know what happened to Microsoft? I mean, the amount of piracy in India, they hardly got even. So don't you face the same kind of?
Can you repeat the question? No. So okay. The best part of our product is we are SaaS. SaaS meaning the software that is there, right? It is only on my cloud. The way you use Facebook, right? Facebook is not installed in your system. You have a website where you go facebook.com, then you log in. The same way that I have a customer. So it's a software as a service, not software as an OEM. In case of Microsoft, the Windows can work offline, right? So you can buy M365 Office license, install into your system. It does not get installed into your system. It is installed only on my server, and you use part of that server.
So you don't run that risk.
No, you don't. We don't give source code to the people. We don't give exe files. There's nothing goes to the system. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to log in into ThreatCop, any of the products, they'll have to log in from our server.
With internet, without it. So it totally depends on you. It's a module wise. You can subscribe to 1 module, 2 module, 3 module, or 4 module, depending on how you want to start.
One last question. Your PAT is declining.
Yes.
Why?
Oh, I already addressed. I know this question was going to come. When you expand to any of the new market, right? You have to put up a data center. You have to put up people on the ground. The biggest cost, like I said, is people for us. Be it Middle East, be it US. So and this cost is not cost which can be kept like that. Again, I don't know that the accounting standard that much, but that's the cost that we invested. So this money is invested, and we always, like we as promoters of this company, we always prefer growth over PAT, right? And we want to kind of maintain both of them. We don't want to say that okay, we will not have PAT and we will not have a growth. We wanted to kind of maintain the same PAT that we are consistently growing, but making sure that we are growing rapidly. So this has been invested in growth. So the PAT has declined from the time we started investing outside.
Just one. What is the current book value?
Book value in the sense?
Book value of the share, current book value.
10 rupees per share.
That
Book
is
value, the face value you are asking or book value?
book value. You're asking 135 rupees, na? You're marketing it at 135 rupees per
Yes,
share.
yes, yes.
What is your current book value?
I think you are talking about the next asset value per share. Again, I'm not a finance guy, right?
We'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sir, this is Ganesh. Basically, this AI is going everywhere and everybody is using it for any of the positive or negative purpose. So, you have any government tie-ups or government litigations to be solved in the future or any of this activity?
When you say litigation in the terms of AI governance, or so right now, I don't think so that there's any rule in terms of how AI can be used, right? There are self-governing rules which call AI ethics. The Claude, which is Anthropic, has come with their own rules, set of rules that how they want to. They call it Anthropic constitutions. So every company is building their own constitution. There is nothing in terms of regulation that has come in place, and I think they will be very soon because the way it is increasing. So what I feel is you have humans the same way you will have AI agents, which is doing the same stuff, right? They are making PPT, they are making your job. So the job will be much easier for you. Let's say you will have the camera which is recording everything and do the entire edit based on your own behavior, right? So I think that there has to be a regulation that needs to be come in. But right now, I think every other company is governing with their own rules rather than kind of anything which is enforced by the government.
And the second question is, very few Indian companies are there in this AI market, and the globally giants are also there, which are global presence or the global managing company.
Right.
So how you are catering to some of your clients as compared to global managing companies?
So I think the way AI can be divided, right? AI can be divided in two parts. One is foundational model, which is large language model. So large language model is thing like this. So we call it parameters. I think you've seen 10 billion parameter, 20 billion parameters, trillion parameters, right? Parameters are the data sets. So one character, you can just assume one parameter. So let's say if you have a trillion parameters, you have that many of characters or data that you put up as a training data. And then from there the results come in. The way India can grow in terms of AI is to build specialized models. The foundation model is already being built. Obviously we should have a one model, sovereignty model where some AI is working, then we should have a one LLM which is heavily built and all those things. But I think the companies like mid-market companies has to build their own SLMs. So there's a model called large language model. There's something called SLM, small language model. I'll share my personal experience, right? So what happened so far is being a CEO, what I receive 150 to 200 emails every day, and this email is not phishing emails. These are cold emails. Someone is selling services and all of those things. What I did is I was sitting over there. I'm a techie by my nature, right? So I built my own small language model, which was around 25 MB based on my email boxes, and I tell them this is cold email, this is actual email, this is internal email. Once I built that, I plugged it to my email system. I have 96% accuracy. That 100 out of 100 emails, in 4 cases, they just fail to kind of recognize. But they tell my email boxes कि ये वाले emails आपको touch नहीं करने because ये fraud emails. Think like this. So the efficacy, it's a very small. I think the parameter would not be more than 10 million. I don't think so even on that side, right? I'm talking about trillion parameters, right? This large language model. So you have to build a specialized model for a specialized use case that will reduce the token cost, right? The token cost is again a big problem, right? The token cost and also the efficacy of the system. The increase the efficacy of the system.
Sir, what is your product's competitive edge in the global market, and can you throw some light on your order book?
Sure. Do you want to take this? The product global edge.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we compete with a couple of competitors in the global market, mostly based out of US. So what basically the primary difference is, like I mentioned about the communication layers that we use today. So most of the competitors are catering to only email-based communication layer, right? But now that has been shifting towards WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, all other communication layers. So in the first, the product that I sold, TSAT, so we cater to a lot of non-email communication layers like WhatsApp, SMS, Telegram, QR. Where in India we are very one of the biggest users across the world, right? And second is a lot of AI is being today used to do deepfake. Deepfake is the biggest problem today, and you'd like to simulate deepfake as well. So we are one of the best companies to simulate deepfake and show it to the employees and see how they are reacting to it. Right? So second is in terms of the awareness. So awareness is very critical in terms of uplifting the awareness level of the employees. And that is again a big problem when it comes to attention span. We are Instagram heavy people, right? We have very less attention span. We want interactive sessions. So our platform is designing more like a Netflix way, where it is very interactive. We have gamified every kind of attack that can potentially come to the people. And the third is, like I mentioned in the empower section, most of the competitors are only focusing on empowering employees to report email. Whereas we also focus on all the communication mediums. Like you can report your WhatsApp messages and see how it is good or bad. You can report any and every message across the communication layers. So if you see ThreatCorp, we are catering to all the 360-degree angle of a potential hack that a person can face, whereas the competitors are primarily focusing on email as an attack vector. So that is why basically we have replaced these biggest competitors in couple of very large government organizations in US, right? So as an Indian product, as an Indian company, we are very proud to replace the biggest cybersecurity company in our domain in the US market, in the US government organizations. Yeah.
Thank you.
What is the
This is
fundamental?
Lokesh Shastri from
Yeah.
PI News. I just wanted to understand what is the size of your customer companies. So the largest one you just mentioned, but what is the smallest size of company and how much time do you take to evaluate the company and then implement your solutions?
So I'll take this. So the size of the company depending on which vertical that you're talking about, right? We have two vertical, one is critical and other is ThreatCorp. The critical comes, the customer that critical has is roughly around 50 employees to 200 employees. That's the major chunk of the customer that we have, right? And it is predominantly inbound. So people come to the website, fill the form, and the leads come directly, right? So we evaluate based on the first call that we have with those people, right? In case of ThreatCorp, generally the ideal case is more than 1,000 employees. So any, I would say, customer who has less than 1,000 plus employees in India could not be a potential customer for us, right? The largest customer that we talked about is roughly 2 lakh plus employees that we have on our portal.
Hello, yeah. I would say like the life has become very critical because this cyber security, cyber threats are increasing day by day. So I just want to know like when it comes to competitor of yours himself. So is there any war between you people rather than putting other people like competitive wise?
So I think, are we in a war with the competition?
Yeah.
Honestly, there are some instances where this happens, and it does not happen between like customer choosing the product which they want to go. Generally, let's say there is one more layer that we need to cross, which is called procurement. Procurement sometimes just for the checkbox, right? Let's say RBI said that you have to get this compliance done. They generally prefer low value product, right? But once this happens, let's say if I have a customer, right, I don't let this go. If I have to sell it to one rupees, right? So my philosophy is that the customer is critical for us. If he's not paying this year, we'll have to let this go for next year. If the customer changes from product standpoint, right, they have something which is bundled in and there changes, and we had a very good story. One of the largest IT company in India moved from us to, they were using for 3 years or 4 years with us. They moved to some other product, right? So we let them go because let them experiment the other product that they have, and it's a global company that they use, right? After that product that they use, after 1 year they came back and they paid 4 times the amount of money, right? Of the product that they were paying previously. If they would have continued, they would have continued the same price because the price was locked 6 years back. So the important part is it totally depends on, we don't kind of get a product competition, it's generally the price competition which happens sometimes in that case. That's not the case in the US, right? Because the US companies built in the US, the cost of building is very high. Let's say the sales cost is 20%, right? But the majority of the cost that they have is building, right? So we we have price advantage over there, and that's and we don't utilize it. Like we don't just say a corner cut. Let's say let's say bidding X, or I will do X by 5. We don't do that. We just say that probably let's say 10% or 20% kind of hiccups here and there because we don't want to disturb that market. That market is us. If we go to, let's say if we go largest in the world in that category, that is going to hit us only, right? So we are very price sensitive. We win on the merit of the product than the price.
as a layman, what precaution should we take? Because now, as a citizen.
Yeah, so I think what I say is just try to see. So anything which comes urgent, do it in 5 minutes, right? Can you do this? So anything which is urgent is not urgent. Nothing is urgent, right? The secondary thing is always have a 2-step verification in your personal life also. So let's say if your boss messages you, right? Secondary channel of communication both they are if boss messages you that I need this to be done right now, then ask someone from your boss which is nearby, that's a friend or a secretary, that did you do this or not, right? So the secondary communication is very important. Always have a secondary communication. किसी ने mail पे बोला है उससे SMS में confirm कर दो. Anything that you are taking action, don't do it in a very immediate fashion. The secondary thing is have a secondary communication. But there is a lot of things that I can tell you, but these are the very predominant 2 things that I can just highlight.
Yeah, let me add to that. So there is a book called Thinking Slow and Fast, if you have heard, right? So it applies in this
What is the name of the book?
Thinking fast and slow and fast. So it applies here as well. So most of the time people we get hacked is when we are thinking fast, right? Reflex. So आया mail आया, message आया, click कर दिया, तो सोच नहीं रहे, we are not thinking, right? So we have to avoid that fast thinking, and we have to switch to slow thinking. A little bit of analysis, taking more time, like Pawan said, maybe take 5 minutes to respond to it, maybe think more, give more time to it. And आप जल्दी मत करो. Usually वही होता है ना कि react मत करो, respond करो, right? So it's the same principle we can apply in this.
There's a web series coming, if you know that, Peter and Pedro.
Which one?
Peter and Pedro.
Pritham and Pedro.
Pritham and Pedro.
Yeah, there's a
Pritham and
movie.
Pedro.
Okay.
It's again, it's your family story, I can say. Thank you.
Sir, many FMCG companies, white capital goods companies, many white capital goods companies, many FMCG companies provide warranty, guarantee for say 3 years, 5 years. So from industry perspective, I'm asking, not maybe specific to your company, but are players like you provide this kind of tenure-based warranty or guarantee to your clients? And if there is any breach and the client suffers a monetary loss, do you provide counter guarantee? Second thing, on an average, who is smarter, fraudsters or security solutions provider? Because you people are responsible, and still the fraud occurs. So preventive measures fail in general. At the industry level, I am talking. Please give some insights. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you so much. Again, very good question. And I'll answer the last question first, right? Who's smarter? If the security professional would not be any smarter, your bank account would be nil today, right? Because if you cannot log in with confidence on a particular portal, right, you are done. So I think that the security professional is much smarter, and that's the reason that they are able to defend your banking account, your systems, your infrastructures, and that's why you are able to kind of share a photo which is predominantly personal between the people, right? That's the first question. The warranty and guarantees, it's think like cybersecurity is a healthcare, right? No doctor will give you a warranty or guarantee. No, right? It's not like I'll save you while you're in an accident, right? Or if something happens with you. But having said that, you always have insurance, right? So there is a cyber insurance which is already predominant, the kind of loss that you can suffer, and you can claim that insurance. So I hope this answers your question.
Your counter guarantee from your side.
So like I said, no doctors, like we are a doctor, right, on that side, provides you guarantee. And no one does that. Any security companies, this is it's not us, right? In cybersecurity industry, no one provides you guarantee apart from insurance. That okay, if this happens, you will be liable for this kind of insurance, right? So there is no guarantee in that side.
Have you encountered any security failure?
As far as till now, till today, it's over like from 2013 till now, I have not been reported a single failure in terms of cybersecurity incidents from the customer.
What is the biggest
Ladies and
operational
gentlemen,
risk
can
for
we
you?
take the remaining questions offline?
Sure.
Well, thank you so